Good morning to all of you. Before we start today's session, please feel free to do event check-in. This will give you access to additional resources and information about events that we are running on Reactor, which are around similar topics to today's session. Also, you will be able to access links from today's session. I will share the event check-in link with the event ID in the Q&A section shortly. Also, we have launched our Reactor group on LinkedIn. Please feel free to join the group to get the latest information about events that are happening on Reactor. I will share the joining link soon. Thank you all once again for joining us today. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru, India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel within 3 to 4 days. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Quick word on our code of conduct. We display this at all Microsoft Reactor events that we run, and is just a reminder to be aware of others. Key thing to take out here is to be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome Swami, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently he works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swami to begin the session. Over to you, Swami.
Hey Rashmit, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen. So I thought that will not punish the people who joined on time. So just wanted
Absolutely,
to,
absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this morning. As we were planning 20 plus sessions, but this is the second session in that. And we'll go over touching all the areas of AZ-204 series. So it will be the mix and match from the syllabus as well as from something which I learned when I was preparing for this exam. So as we see the syllabus over here, right now we are focusing on this, and next we'll come to this one. Then we can compare, do a different comparison between what it takes if you want to go and deploy our application inside an Azure virtual machine, and what is if we deploy that to an app service. So that difference we'll see that. So most of the things will go, and I'm taking it in a different order so that we'll learn a concept and implement that as part of a application. So that's what I'm targeting. So if you see that this we have covered in the previous session, and this also we have covered to a decent extent, but again we are revisiting. So 1 and 2 topics we have covered, and here applications settings and configuration settings, this we are looking at. And then this section will come back, like enable diagnostic logs, and like mix and match will go, but we'll ensure that we are covering almost all the topics, if not all, but definitely almost all the topics we will plan to cover. Okay. Apart from that, what we will do is for today, we'll touch the MS Learn topics also, whatever we have it in as part of the MS Learn. So we'll go and we'll touch some of those topics and see that what they're talking and what we are doing. So we'll look into the practical aspects of this, but the theoretical stuff you guys can go and give it a glance. But I'll see that how best I can incorporate the MS Learn modules as part of the hands-on session. Okay, so that's the thing. And one more point is I'm mostly active in Facebook and Twitter, but LinkedIn I'm on and off. But this is the repository where you'll find the entire source code. Here you have Vichy Pylor, and this is speaker series. And in the Microsoft Reactor, as and when we progress, we'll have all these sessions. I'm giving the links so that you'll have for which session you can go and see that what is this code. So here I'm also maintaining a demo PPT. I'll come back to that one. But for today's session, whatever we will have the entire source code here. We are starting with .NET 5 framework. We can use .NET 3. That shouldn't be a problem. We might bump up to .NET 6 shortly. But as of now, I'm sticking to .NET 5 for another month or so. Uh, then I'll bump it up to .NET 6. Okay. So what are we going to do today? It's like an incremental, folks. What we did in the previous session and what we are doing now, it's all will be purely incremental. And some of the concepts we might introduce in previous session, and again we'll come and do a revisit of that. Okay. Before I'll take one more minute. One more minute. As this one, the sessions is purely hands-on, and we'll have parking lots. You can ping me in Facebook or Twitter. I can reply back if I don't know something. I'll go learn and then definitely reply back to your queries. And some of the concepts we'll introduce and again we'll revisit. And there are multiple ways to do, and I'm doing one of the way. That's the only way I know, or I'm comfortable doing that way. The focus is more on concepts. The demos are kept simple. I'm still a learner. Apologize if I do any mistake. Okay, after the disclaimer, let's see what are we going to do. See this in the first session, we'll see that what we did. We did an introduction about app service, and we found that what an app service is and what it facilitates. And then we saw that how to create a basic web application using Portal and deploy it using VS Code. Then we created a Linux application and deployed it from VS Code. Then we created a static app and used this AZ web app command. And then we created a hello world of the Angular 12 app and deployed using Azure CLI. And we did a quick recap. And now incrementally on top of that, we are going. So what are we going to do today? So we'll create and deploy an app using PowerShell. So in the previous session, what did we do is we were executing a command one by one. So now we will slowly progress and we'll execute the script as a set of commands. Instead of going one by one, we'll execute set of commands. And also we'll use the Cloud Shell. We'll introduce what is Cloud Shell, and we'll make our hands a little bit dirt on experimenting what a Cloud Shell is, how can we use it, and a little bit deeper into the Cloud Shell. And then we'll start using ARM templates, and we'll find the benefits of ARM templates, because by the time we get into this virtual machines, app services, storage accounts, queues, service bus, Azure functions, and containers, a lot of things are coming in. So by the time we go through 20 episodes, we'll have a bunch of reusable ARM templates or the PowerShell scripts or a CLI scripts. There are a lot of reusability things will come in. And apart from that, the journey which we are traveling will do some of the coding also. Because every episode there'll be definitely some coding will be there. And that also we'll start learning, like dependency injection or whatever it is coming our way, we'll learn that. And we'll go through this simple layered application which I have created, like you have core business logic layer, data access layer, and an API, and have a DAC pack, the SQL project. Let's learn some of the best practices or some of the worst practices which I do. Whatever it is, we'll learn something. Okay, and we'll deploy these changes, and then we'll see how many ways we can change the connection strings, and we'll see a little bit about the app settings and some of the few tips and tricks here and there. And this SQL Azure we introduce now, and someone might ask, why are we speaking about the SQL server at the first place? So that is also part of the syllabus for our AZ-204 series. If I go to the AZ-204 series, there's the one. Okay, just give me a moment. I'll create a duplicate that we will discuss in the next session, but let me take that a minute real quick. So I copied few of the links and kept it ready for myself. so that I'll paste all those things. And if you come in this section, secure your cloud data, one of the someone is unmuting their speaker. I'm able to hear some noise. Please. So here, secure your Azure SQL data. So we introduce Azure SQL and we'll come back and we'll discuss some of these topics. But as I was mentioning, slowly we'll come and see that as and when we progress, we'll come and revisit either whatever I learned from multiple places and from books or from colleagues or from other authors and Microsoft Learn. So different places I learned it. So we'll touch base on all these things. I'll see that how best I can include these MS modules also while we are doing. At least for today, we will give a glance of these three. This is falling under deploy a website to Azure app. This is one of the major section. So inside this, we have 6 modules. At least we'll touch 3 today, and rest we will come back. This is the separate section. Okay. Now, what is that we are going to achieve? So what is I'm trying to do is as we started with some of the topics and we don't know what we are doing, but we spun up an API or a Angular application and we created a uh, app service apps there. And then that was in last session. And this session, what we are doing is you see this how we are progressing. So last it's just this an app service and we hosted an web API or an UI, but we don't know what we are doing with that, but we did it. And now we are coming and we are adding more pieces to this. Now we are adding a SQL server, we'll use Postman, and now we are coming to this one. So the next episode will be where we will host uh, some application, maybe MVC or Razor or Blazor or Angular, I don't know what, but we'll host few of the applications here and then connect these applications inside the virtual machine to the API, which is hosted in the app service. Like we are adding more and more flash. So eventually we will cross this. This is someone is unmuting themselves. Hello. Okay. So, so what we will be doing is this is less pieces when we compare to what we are going to implement. So we will have a storage account, blob storage and queues and service bus queues and events and Azure functions, web jobs, a lot of things will come. So if someone asks me a question, is this the good architecture, Swami? I am really not sure whether it is a good architecture or it could be the worst architecture on this face of earth. I don't know. But whatever we are learning, let's try to implement it in some extent so that, at least we know that, okay, this can be used at least in this basic manner. Okay, so like if you see that Azure Redis cache is there, we'll bring in Cosmos, we'll bring in CDN, and we'll bring in Key Vault. A lot of things we'll bring in. At least we know that, okay, in an application I can use this in one of the ways. Okay, it's like a new music director trying all the instruments in the same song. So that's like within whatever we learned, we'll come and implement it here. So again, once we go and do our project, we might go and furnish it, but that's the plan. So we started here. Slowly we'll progressing. This is step 2. And step 3 is we'll introduce virtual machine. As and when we go introduce the topics, we'll do that. Okay. So that's the introduction. And I am sure that you guys are already fastened your seat belts. Let's start doing what we are doing. So the first thing is I just want to introduce the Azure Cloud Shell. Okay, so the Azure Cloud Shell, you can go to 2 ways you can access this Azure Cloud Shell. One is this one over here. So if you click on this icon over here, it brings this Cloud Shell. So the Cloud Shell has got both the PowerShell as well as the Bash script. So it depends upon what is your skill set, whether you are from the Windows guy or you're from the uh, uh, shell script. That depends upon the skill set and you're comfortable or you have those modules ready, so you can go ahead and switch. So there are a couple of bulleted points I just wanted to highlight here. So this is the first way we access this. And you need a storage account. We'll get to the details of that. I can switch back to from PowerShell to Bash scripts. So anyone who's a little bit comfortable with Linux or they spent a lot of time in this, they can come in over here. And the other option is you can directly go to shell.azure.com. So one difference, notable difference between having the cloud shell from here or going directly to the shell.azure.com is that's that opens up the shell in a bigger screen where at least I was not able to minimize that. But here in this case, I was able to expand, contract, or minimize or adjust the height of that screen. That is one notable difference. So who is provisioning this Cloud Shell? Is it a command line or what it is? I was just thinking. My colleagues Nikhil, Ankur, and me, we were doing some code jam session to understand what is this Cloud Shell. So after doing some experiment, we found that okay, this Cloud Shell, what they are provisioning is they are having a machine or a virtual machine or some kind of hardware is operating system is there behind this, because when I type host name, it is giving the name of this machine where this Cloud Shell is being provisioned. Like I can come back over here. Let me switch to PowerShell so that it will be easy for us to switch between these two. And come on. Okay. So we don't need to specify any AZ login or AZ connect, whatever is there. We don't need to do anything. So you can see that it's giving the same host name, whether I'm in this session or this session, but it is the same machine which has been provisioned. And one more thing is, suppose I don't have the VI editor here. Just oh God, I I didn't realize that they have provided it. Some other thing, whatever is not there. Suppose I want to install sudo apt get update. I'm just typing. So they are saying that sudo is not available. That means we have been provisioned a user level permissions. That means we can use this machine in this console, but we can't do anything damaging or any applications we can't install. Whatever is coming out of the box, we can utilize it, but we can't install. So this shows that. So how do we know all these things? There's something we have learned while going through this URL. So it's one of the key points is it times out in 20 minutes, and it offers this graphical interface, which is pretty similar. We'll go through that one. And you have someone unmuted themselves and they're on speaker. I'm able to hear my own voice. Guys, please, I'm really sorry if I'm sounding little rude. Please mute your phones. So requires a resource group, storage account, and Azure file share. We'll see that what it is in a moment, and uses the same Azure file share for both Bash and PowerShell. What does that mean? That means if I do ls, I have some of the files like application settings, development JSON, college zip, or this one. Some of the files I can see here in Bash. Suppose if I go to the PowerShell and I do the ls or dir, I see the same set of files, app settings and the college, create web app ps and .NET Core, and this is one of the folder which I created. So that means the same storage or the files where the files has been stored, that's being shared between both. Either it is you're working with the shell or you're working with the PowerShell or working with the Bash. You are using the same storage account. Okay, and is assigned to one machine per user account. Okay, that means we have seen that. And permissions are Unix user, the bash. This is regular user. That means you can't do installation or you can't play with it. So it's just a user you can, and persist a dollar home using 5 GB image. So what does dollar home means? You can see that that's a home directory. So slash home Vishwanath Swami. And here also you can see this PWD print working directory. It's the same. That's a home directory for my account. That's home directory for my account, and we can quickly get into this manage file share. Let's go into this to see that. So there will be a storage account which is backed up here. I will close this. This is the storage account which has been backed up here. You can see that whatever the things which we are seeing inside this cloud drive, those will be available here. So if I go and do a CD cloud drive and I do ls, I see this arm deploy folder and publish folder. I do ls-l. So you can see that arm deploy a folder and publish a folder, and create VM Ubuntu, it's here, and create web app, it's here, and the rest of the things are here. And one more thing to observe at this point is when I do ls-l, I can see this. This is a directory and this is a directory, and I have read, write, and execute access RWX. So that's the current owner. This is the owner. When I switch back to this the parent or the home directory, I can see that if I'll not be able to execute this create web app, this PowerShell here, because it doesn't have the execute access. And even this .NET Core, this shell script, it didn't have this. We have bumped it up. We did this chmod, okay, and we said that for user, one second, it's mode. Okay, so that's the one where we, oh, not this one. So that's the way, that is where we can go and add this, the user, group, others. So first three characters is for user. After the directory, the first three characters, after this one, first three characters is for user. So we can go ahead and modify that. So this is read, write, and execute permission. So how do we do that? We can do this chmod. So we are the user or owner. You can use you, and we can set this. Okay, let's give that a shot. If I come in here now, chmod, and for user, I'm telling ls-l. I said that chmod for user, I want to give read and write access on .NET. Okay. Now if I do ls-l, you can see that I don't have the execute access. So when will you realize that you don't have the uh, access is .NET Core underscore web app.sh. When you execute this, it will say that you don't have the permission to execute this command. Okay, you do not have the permission to execute this one. So what we have to do is, in this case, we have to go and give the execute permission to that. I mean, this all, I'm showing the power, but please take the best judgment before doing any of these things. Okay, ensure that you're not giving additional permissions more than what it is needed and executing a script which can bring down your entire solution, but cautious. But I'm telling you the power, what else you can do. Okay, that's a basic introduction about the PowerShell, Cloud Shell, which has got the PowerShell and the Bash. And it depends upon the skill set or your favorite colors or whatever it is. You want to use the Bash or PowerShell, you're on your own. And also some of the things, a notable difference is that if you have PowerShell commands and you want to do something, it might sometimes they might have provisioned that PowerShell commands very powerful, or sometimes you might be feeling that easy CLI commands are more easy, where you can go and add the runtime and do other things. So it depends upon our use case, whether we want to use it for something, whatever is the reason, you can stick to the game plan. And another thing, what this documentation is speaking is it says that it persists $home using 5 GB image, and that 5 GB image we can see here in this dot cloud console. There will be a 5 GB image, so that's this one. We are assuming based on this statement, and this it is matching. We are saying that, hey, this could be the file. I might be wrong, but based on that, this is what we are thinking it could be. Okay. And one thing what we can see is you do ls, and ls, uh, this is the root file system, and ls tilde is your home directory. Okay, so tilde, it comes from the home directory, and ls forward slash, it goes to the parent, right? So where you can have different users, you can see that, but you don't have permission to do anything. So we'll stick to the game plan. We'll stay here. I will have a glass of water. Okay. Okay, I will go delete it. Now we'll see that how quickly we'll be proceeding, uh, moving faster in creating these things. Okay, that's the thing. So now I can access the things from the Cloud Shell itself. So I already created this scripts, and I have it in this folder. Under infrastructure, for this, you have the PowerShell, you have Azure CLI, as well as ARM template for everything, virtual machine or Azure functions, whatever we are going through, we will definitely have these kind of things, infrastructure stuff with us, so we can move pretty faster. And as I was mentioning, to know the runtimes which are being supported, we can come and execute this command. It gives us whatever is a runtime that will help you add this runtime and add it when you're creating the web app. So that's the tip. And another thing is we can like plan skew. You write something, what is valid, you don't know, don't worry, write whatever you want and execute the script, and it will throw an error saying that, hey, this is not allowed, allowed values are this. So that's how I figured it out, and I pasted it here. Okay, so let's start with our first exercise, step by step. And we had an introduction about this one. Let's go to this PowerShell script and see what this PowerShell script is doing. So in this PowerShell script is pretty simple. We have few variables, and we have a resource group. We are going to create a resource group. We are going to create a new service plan, and this is going to create a Windows service plan. And if you need a Linux, you need to add this Linux. I just pasted it over there. And this is creating a web app. So we'll see two different modes just to, from now onwards, then we will move faster. Just wanted to show you how can we do individually. So I just come and paste these commands over here, and I can go back and say that web app name. So it stores those variables because I'm using this get random. So every time I execute this, it gives me a new random value, right? So every time I execute, it gives me a new random value. So that's what we are using, so that we'll get a unique this name. And the resource group already exists, but we are not doing any damage here. But when we execute it through the ARM template, that does an incremental deployment, whether you're doing, and also in the Terraform, we'll give a glance on the Terraform also, but I just wanted to show you this first. And let me come back over here and execute this uh, plan, and we'll see that there is nothing in this resource group. And let's see that it has created the plan. I will come and do a refresh. It creates. Let's give it a time. Let's not waste any time. Let's go, because we have a lot of things to take care today. and I execute this AZ new plan and see that it is creating like 15%, 20%. It is showing the progress bar too. And in the meanwhile, I'll come over here and you see this, the plan has been, app service plan has been created. And we can, so same thing, whatever we did the details, we went into the details and we saw that the properties is here and it says that basic tier, small instance, and this also we have seen last time. What is the breakup? How much hard disk do we have? Who is using what? And how many apps has been using this plan? You see this college API. This is a guy which we just created now with that PowerShell command. Looks like it has completed here. There are a lot of other commands also there, but just wanted to have a kickstart on this things. It depends upon, see this, we have this one. Okay, anyways, we are going to recreate it. Now, the advantage of having this is I don't need to open the portal at all. See that? We just created and we have deleted it because we know that we can recreate it in very few minutes. I just want to show you that real quick. So what is the advantage? Let me come back over here and I do a clear. I can type it. So ls-hell. And other one is I have this one. So if I want to uh, .NET Core, see, executed it. I don't need to worry about it. It is creating, and I'm coming back here, and I will go to this PowerShell here and ls and create app. I'm executing this. So both the things are getting executed parallelly. So one guy is getting executed here in the bash, that's AZ CLI commands, and here I'm executing the PowerShell scripts, and the netnet is we are coming and seeing that within few seconds we are having two different app service plans and two different apps. So that's the advantage. So we'll just have a quick glance, and I have shown you the shortcut. How do you go and create these things? You can go to the Azure, this one, extension, and inside the extension, you will have this app service. You can manually create that app service, right mouse click, and generate the CLI. It creates it automatically. We have seen that tip in the previous session, right? So I'll close this. I'll close this. For some reason, I am very scared when I'm opening a lot of commands. Okay, tabs, right? So you can see this within few seconds, we have this, everything is ready. Okay, and we can go to that event log and find out. This also we have seen in the previous session. How can we go and look into those executions, like how much time it took in the deployment section here in the deployments. We can go and check that what was the deployment, what was this it was deploying, and also we can get into this operation details. This also we have seen in the previous session, like how many seconds it took and everything. But the net what we are trying to learn here is we are trying to learn this scripting, maybe the PowerShell or the Azure CLI, so that we can make our life easy and predictable. So if I am creating something with the .NET Core or .NET 5 or .NET 6 or whatever the version of runtime it is. So I need to remember what option I have selected if I'm doing it manually. But now if I script it, whether it is the shell script or whether it is a PowerShell script, for me, I don't need to remember anything until unless there is a breaking change. Let's assume this command is accepting another parameter and it has deprovisioned this parameter, hypothetically. In that case, until unless they do such kind of breaking changes, we don't need to come and modify our scripts. If not, every time we execute, and happily I can come and execute this another time. We already created one. So now it's like a child's play. See, we executed, we have this, and I can come back here and I will go and execute it one more time just for fun. Chalo, let's try creating one more app, how much time it takes? It's just a few seconds and a maximum a minute or so. See, it's 25-30%, and almost it's done in next 30 to 30 seconds or so. It will create it. Even we can do the same thing in portal also, but the problem is you have to log into the portal and you need to go search and click. You do a lot of things. Like, see this, I just executed and come back here. I see that here it didn't take much time for me to create it. I just clicked on a button and it is creating it happily, and I'm saying that okay, all is well. So that's the advantage of having this, right? So that's about this scripting piece. Everything is here. I will close all these things, and now let's go to the step 2 of this one. So we just learned about this, and now the publishing stuff. So for this publishing stuff, I will go, and this is the previous version, folks. So this code, whatever we did, it was the previous episodes. So open the terminal. I'm opening the terminal because we just want to publish it. So the publish, I think the publish folder is already there. Yeah, the publish folder is already there. So I don't need to worry about it. So I will go and open this in the file folder explorer. So this is the publish folder. We already did it in the previous session. So how do you send it? There are multiple ways to send it. I can use the, I can come in here and I can go to this publish folder, and inside this publish folder, I have upload. I'll go to the upload and I click on this. That should definitely take me to this. I will do this and select all and click on open and override, and I click on upload. That's uploading all these files. Okay, it is overriding the files, whatever it is. This is one of the method. And other method is, if you want to do, you can come and click on this upload. Here also you can do upload one by one. But the catch is that when you upload something from here, it goes and uploads to the home directory. It doesn't go and upload it to the cloud machine where you have all these files. So it's one thing you need to understand is we can't upload it to this location. It does to the home directory. Let's try that. If I'm trying to upload something, let's see that whether that file is not existing. Okay, app settings development JSON is there. So if I'm trying to upload app settings JSON, which doesn't exist there, and I click on open, so it uploads. See this upload destination home Vishwanath Swami. So if you come and look into this ls, it uploads to this your home directory. So we don't have the flexibility of uploading it to a different location. Okay, so that's the other tip. And then after uploading this, what we need to do is we need to execute this command, zip command. So zip is another utility you can download and have it in your Windows machine also. I think the same thing they are using it even today. The last release was in July 2008. Looks like it is pretty solid. Even people are using, even today they are using it. So um, I would really love to be part of this kind of product or solution, which is being used after 12 years. It's a stable thing. So let me come back over here and do a cloud drive. And inside that, cd publish. Okay. And I do an ls. We have everything over here. And you can see that we are not seeing anything, a zip folder. Do you see any zip folder? I don't see any zip folder here, but I just want to do a one more check. Okay, we don't see any of those zip command. We can come and execute. This is the name. You can specify the zip folder name, whatever you want to give. I'm giving this college API as a zip folder name. Like I do a clear. Let me increase its size so that we have an extra thing. I paste this command and it zips it all, and I do an ls. I see the college API zip is here. Okay, and when we want to do a zip deployment of this one, it needs the file to be there, or else I can use the PowerShell also from here. Let's see that. Let's face the problem. Then we will learn from our problem. Okay, so when I am trying to do publish, this publish is I'm copying this command and getting into that CD cloud drive and CD publish, and I do an ls. I have this. I paste this command over here, right mouse click and paste it, and so this is what it was mentioning. I was really not sure why, but it's for some reason it's unable to locate. I tried different options there. Might be I didn't try the exact option, but I tried different things, but it didn't work. So what did I do is I just did this, move this to the home directory. So I just went back here and here. This is my home directory. I executed this command, move move from this cloud tray from publish college api.zip to the current folder. I executed. So if I do ls uh, dot dot cloud drive dot publish, I now we are not seeing this zip file over here because we moved it to the current folder. We have everything. So now we can come back to this one and we'll see that how to do the publish using zip deploy, and that too through PowerShell. So where are we doing that? That's pretty important. The name I need to change. Um, we have any? Ow. That. Oh, we have a bunch of things. Let me clear it off so that we'll know that what we are doing. Okay, we have this script ready. Let's re-execute that PowerShell script to find out what is the new app it is creating. And this is the code editor. You might ask that if I want to modify any of the files, how do I do? We learned that we can upload it from here. It uploads to the home directory, or if you go to that cloud drive, where you can go and update it to the individual folder structures, we can do that. And what if, Swami, I want to modify the code? They have already given this code editor. Okay, so if I do code, it opens up. That's one way. Or the other best way to use is come and click on this code editor. It opens up and it gives you all these files, like whether the PowerShell file or the shell script, whatever it is, you can come and you can update it from here. So we are seeing that the web app name which we are giving here. So we'll use this PowerShell script to create a new web app for us now. I have cleaned it up. Okay, let it be there. It says that it doesn't want to go out of this. Okay, we execute. Let's give it, it's not taking more than 30-40 seconds. And we'll see that what is the name. I mean, we can do very complex things, folks. Whatever we are doing is like a tip of an iceberg, but we are starting to learn uh, to do things. Okay, so that's what is pretty important. It's 55%. So now we created this, cleared it off, and I'm coming here and I'm seeing that college API. It's coming. Let's go to the apps. I think one of the apps should be there inside this. Okay, that's the name of the app. I come in, I copy this app. I will come back to the notepad. Oh, what? Copy. Wow, thanks. So we'll see this. We'll copy and I want to paste it here. How? Let me copy it from here. Yeah, this guy. Resource group. Technically I can put this command in the same script, but I just want to show as a two individual pieces. But net it is the same thing. So I paste it over here. So the resource group, that variable is already there. RG name. So if I can go in here into the PowerShell, if I paste it, that session holds that resource group name. So I don't need to change that. The only thing is I need to change the name of the application. And other things also we have covered in the previous session. We can get into that app service editor where we know that what all the default files which exist. This also we have seen, guys. And again, we'll revisit this in one or two sessions down the lane, where we do a lot of analysis, investigation, and we'll fail. In today also, we'll fail at multiple places. I just want to fail and learn from a harder way. So you can see that it just has this one, hosting HTML. This also we know that. Okay, now I come and execute this command. So, okay, let it execute. In the meanwhile, we have some other work which we have to do it. So for our today's session, this is just an introduction. We'll come back in the next session where we'll discuss about the SQL Server and its security. So just let us give a couple of minutes for that to go ahead and spin. And the naming convention, we know that what we have to use is SQL DB hyphen college store. And I'm creating. At this point of time, we are creating the provisioning way. We'll use the serverless sometime later. So none of these things will work. I just wanted us to learn the harder way. So we'll learn it this way. So it's too costly. So we'll go and we'll data throughput units, and it's only 2 GB. This is only for the experimentation, and I can use this preview. And we'll stop this. We'll come and revisit this. It's costing around $400 a month. We'll just create it, let it provision. In the meanwhile, let's come back and see that it did the deployment, right? It took the zip and it pushed it here. So you can come back and see that the hosting.html, it's gone, and whatever we see here is the our latest files which has been pushed. Okay, let's come back to the here and let's go to this API. And other things we have seen that the deployment center, we can go there and we can find out the logs, who deployed when. It shows that it's active. It got pushed via deployment at 9:48. Now it is 9:50. 2 minutes ago it got pushed. And let's go and click on this and slash weather forecast. So we saw this. This is from our previous episode. So that's the first section. We were able to complete it. It took some time, but we learned things in a pretty good manner. So we had in-depth discussion about the Cloud Shell. And even if I speak any more word, you guys will switch off your computer. I don't want to do that. So let's go and see few Azure extensions in VS Code. So this VS Code has got pretty much a very good extensions. I can show you over here. See, these are some of the extensions which I installed. So mostly I choose from the company, like the organization. For Angular, I choose Angular's thing, and for others, I choose Microsoft and something which is coming from Kubernetes or Red Hat. I'll see that they are. That does not mean that other tools are not good or I don't believe other tools. I mean, it's a personal choice. This whatever I'm doing is my personal choice, but I'm telling that you guys can install anything which you feel like. Some of this like bracket pair colorizer and prettier and live server. These are some of the tools which I use pretty much daily. I really love this live server and the prettier and the JSON bracket colorizer. So what we are talking here is this Azure tools. So this is coming with a set of 12 tools. So you have Azure App Service, Azure Functions, Storage, the database, Azure resources. A lot of things are there. I mean, it's coming like a bundle. This one. So this helps us a lot in well in our development or in our day-to-day activities. And other thing is we can come to the view and Cloud Explorer. So it's pretty much, if you're a click guy like me, you can use this Visual Studio 2019 or 2022, and you have this Cloud Explorer over here, and you can see that it recognizes that I have a service fabric and local storage here. It shows this, and also pretty much it gives a different version, but different visual look and feel. But again, it gives us the same capabilities and provisions, or it might have more capabilities. I'm not sure at this point of time, but you can use it. You don't need to go to portal. You're seeing almost pretty similar tools over here, but see what are the tools which are available which can make your life easy. So let's see that. We'll not spend much time, but you can see that both these guys showing this, and here we are having application settings a little bit advanced, and you're seeing the web jobs and files. You have it, and you have the log files. You have this logs here. That's read only. And apart from that, they are giving some other options where you can do the attached debugger. We can do a remote debugging. We'll come back to that session. We can do the profiling and streaming logs, or you can stop the application right from here, or refresh and download the published profile. So each has got its own advantages of using it. So just wanted to give a quick uh, introduction on those tools which you have, or you can use it both in VS Code or VS 2019. So I'm pretty much favorite of these two tools. So I use both these editors all the time. Okay. So now other thing is, we have already seen this script. It is from the previous script, and we have seen the power also. We can come in as I can come in here to this script and what? Yeah, oh, it's not in here. That's the problem of using two different. This also we have seen that. Okay, on just execute the script and you can have a glass of water and come back. You see this things are getting provisioned. Okay, within the time you drink a glass of water, by the time you keep the glass on the table, you see that you have everything ready. Oh, this we created it manually. But this thing, whatever you are executing, it creates it. Let's keep it that. And before we, yeah, this we created whatever the uh, new website which we created, that was using the shell script, Azure CLI command. So that we have seen it. in this Azure CLI .NET Core. That's a plan. Okay, this app college API, this is a random number. Actually, I should have used the random number at one place, but that's, I will fix this code. That's fine. It's my mistake. Apologies, guys, for that. And I need an extra space. I can minimize that. Okay. So, okay, this is the mismatch. So definitely it is this one which we created now. It is definitely this one which we created now. Yeah, that is starting with 915. This is not 915. Yes, exactly. So this is the one which we create. And we need to understand how the things are being provisioned. If you see this get random, this is giving a bigger number. And here, if you see that, oh, what is the command? I forgot. $random, all caps. That gives a smaller number. So what you have to do is, if you want to try that, you need to do that. Okay, echo dollar. So when you do an echo dollar, it gives a 4-digit number. So based on that, you see it has got 4-digit number. So we can clearly understand that, okay, this we executed using the shell script through Azure CLI because it is having only 4-digit number. So the other one, you can see this, the get random, it is giving a bigger random number. Okay, just like tip to identify. Okay, this is the one which is there. And the next step, what we want to do is to deploy that using VS 2019. So let's come back to this one. This is a previous version of the code. This is current. So let's do with this. Right mouse click on this and go and click on publish over here. And that guy will publish. It comes, add a publish profile. Azure, and okay. Let me check that what is the it is, yeah, it's Linux. That's a Linux version. Okay, so that's Linux version of the app service. Because if you select Windows, it might trouble. I don't know, but let's select the Linux to be in sync with that. And this is a 4-digit one. See, it recognized. Saw that, folks? Because when you come here, we are seeing two web apps. And Visual Studio is so intelligent, it went and it recognized that this is the only one which is of Linux. The other one is for Windows. Okay, so we'll skip this API management. We'll come back in future episode. At this point of time, we'll use this. We'll come back to the GitHub and rebuild pipelines and release pipeline little later. We'll get strong foundation, and then we can go to that little later. Okay, once that is done, you do a publish. And once you do the publish, you can come and click on this one, view publishing activities. You can check some of the things from here, but I prefer seeing it here, the view details. So it gives us pretty good details like what it is doing. You can click on that, and this pretty much it gives a lot of information, what is happening, whether it is failing or what it does. See this. I think this also we looked at in depth regarding that zip deploy. So while this guy is deploying, let's switch the gears and come back to some pieces of information. Like you see this from the learning module. So that is this one, topic 1 over here. Prepare your visuals to prepare your environment. Okay, this we have seen to a decent extent. Like you can set up your development environment, and whether you are working with the Eclipse or IntelliJ or you want a Visual Studio, they are telling that what are the suggested tools which you can install, or Visual Studio 2019 or Visual Studio for Mac. And the other point for today is this one, host a web application with Azure app service. So this also we see that the only thing is we write a code. We already have a .NET 5 version. Only thing what we can do is we can come to this location where you see that automated deployment versus manual deployment. So this we did it, and zip deploy we did it with the config zip, but we'll come back and we'll redo in the next episode, but I'm parking it for here. And local git also we did it, but we didn't do with the remote, but we did it with the local git. And we are doing currently with the Visual Studio right now. So at least this one, the zip deploy and app, we did it. And apart from that, this will come back after 4 to 5 sessions, because we'll have a lot of things to play around, because right now we are only here only with 2 dots. Let's come to 5 to 7 dots, then it makes more sense to have the things automation, right? So step 1, step 2, step 3 is through the Visual Studio. That also we just now we have seen it, but you guys can quickly go and see this. The exercise is published this app from Visual Studios, where you can see that we have already created this application. Like how do you explore the project structure? This we will spend time. Okay, this here they are deploying the Razor application, which we'll do it in next session, but today we will do the API. So what we are seeing that most of the pieces we are trying to cover from whatever I learned from different authors, and something I learned from Microsoft site, so, the exclusively from MS Learn. So I'll share those things. Why it's taking this much time? One more thing is the moment it deploys, we'll see. So one. Where is that? Editor. Wow. See this, some of the things they are blocking it because they know that. How can I show that real quick? Advanced tools. I can go to this Kudu console. Or here itself in this logs, we can see they will host a site under construction web page. They will have it, and they delete it also. I think that we captured it in our previous session. Wow. That's what I was thinking. Oh, it timed out? No problem. Let's give that a shot again. I'll close this so that we have to deal with less number of things. Okay, we need to go to this dash. Oh, maybe it got corrupted. Okay, I think this is the problem. What is the configuration? I'm thinking if not, we'll recreate it. That should be fine. Okay, looks like there is some problem. Come to this general settings. .NET 6. Yeah, everything is good. What is the problem then? Processing your request. Swapping the error. Okay, no problem. Let's recreate it. I'll come in over here. Let's go back. And ooh, we need that for our next session. Okay, so let's move to the step 3. This will come back, and step 3 is creating the web app using ARM template, using Cloud Shell and deploying this one. So let's spend 1 or 2 minutes real quick on this ARM templates over here. I have those links. So we'll revisit. This is just like a introduction, folks. We'll definitely come back and revisit and learn more on this ARM templates. Like see this, the benefits, the consistent management layer. So this is the Azure Resource Manager. This is an architecture. So SDKs. So you can come through the Azure portal, or you can use the PowerShell, or use the CLI, or use the REST client. So these two things are coming and hitting this Azure Resource Manager and this PowerShell and CLI using the SDK. But net, this is a consistent layer where it has got this. And you speak to this Azure Resource Manager layer, and this guy will go and deploy the resources. You can go and get into the details of that to find out. I just want to show a few other important points which you can focus on. This terminology, like you have resource group, the resource is individual, resource group is container, and resource provider is what is that you want to be provisioned, whether the key vault, or you can see this Microsoft key vaults, or you want a website or a database. That's the provider, a service that supplies the resources you can deploy and manage, right? And template is the JSON template where you can add what all the things you need it, and that's the declarative syntax. You're not writing any programming. You're saying that, hey, I want a virtual machine of so and so capacity with operating system as Linux, and the password is through SSH. So you just tell that declaratively. The ARM template is going to provision for that. We'll have a detailed discussion later at later point of time, but let's quickly go and see this one also. This is what I want to give an important thing here. You can see this, the resource manager template, and it comes to the resource manager and it goes and provisions this one. The file structure is the one which we can focus it little later, but because we have less time to deal with, so we'll go and we'll deploy one of the other virtual machine, and we'll come back to this one. Okay, so okay, let's create that, and I will come back to this, and here also I'll switch back to the dash. One second, what is that I have given? This is the ARM template, and yeah, I've given the shell script. So here is the parameters. I'm telling that the API name should be this, and what is the resource group name? What is the hosting plan name? The SKU, is it basic, basic, and number of workers, and what should be the provision, this one. And here, this is the one where you can see this. We'll come back to this one. You have parameters, you have resources. And here inside the resources, the important point which we have to understand is depends upon. So that means what we are telling is, hey, just create a website. And we are telling that before creating, I'm expecting that I need to have this hosting plan. That means it will first come and it will create the hosting plan. And because this website, it says that, okay, I want to create a website, but I have a dependency on this hosting plan. So if the hosting plan has been provisioned, then it tries to attempt to create the website. And if it is failing because of our parameters, that's a different story. But if the hosting plan itself is failed, it will not create the website. So that's the deal. So let's come back and quickly do this one while one is being provisioned here. We can do another attempt of that one, and this one, both we can do in a single attempt. Let's give it a minute here. I will go to the Cloud Shell where I have provisioned it already, and cd arm deploy, and you can see that cat deploy, that's the one. And I can say that cat parameters JSON, and I can see that cat oh, you can see that that's just, it is creating a resource group location, and we are AZ group create, we are giving it, and AZ deployment group create, the resource group name, the template file, and the parameters file. Okay, all I need to come and execute that web app deploy, so that it verifies that trying to create this AZ group create here, which is already there, and it is running. That means it is going and deploying this template. Okay, it's doing its job. Let's try a second attempt to deploy to this one. I don't know why the first attempt got failed. I need to ensure this time that it is Linux. I just want to ensure that I'm not doing any mistake. I'll come back here. Just give it a minute. And also we saw that one particular difference, that the configuration page itself will be a little different between the Windows web app and Linux web app. It will be definitely different. And we also saw that the Linux web apps are getting deployed as part of the containers. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so it created all these things, and you can see this. It has created this resource group here, and then it has created the what is that? What is that? Yeah, it is created plan, and then after creating the plan, it is creating the website, because we already told that we have a dependency on that one. So it created that one also. So you can come and see this. This is there. Okay, that's good. So we do have, it's 3146, but how do I know that it is a Linux one? Yeah, operating system is Linux. And operating system is Linux, and 31465. 31465. Okay, let's make another attempt after one failure. Right mouse click on that and publish. Azure and app service Linux, and that should show this, right? So this is, because it will not take that much time, because there is very less number of files. That's what I was wondering, why it was taking more time. I mean, if something is taking more time, that means it is facing some problem somewhere, we don't know where, but it is definitely facing problem. It shouldn't take that much time. See this, it should start publishing and start deploying the files one by one. You can see that it created the zip file, and that zip file is being pushed here to this zip deploy. Did I miss any step? I'm really not sure, but I have perfectly tested these things. Okay, the build is succeeded. This is what it failed, and see this. It should show step by step. That's what is happening. So you can see this. It comes and it's showing this, and that one will be forecast. Because this is the first time it is booting it up, it takes a little bit time, but we will definitely see this. You can see this in the under this show output, as well as in the publish activity also. See this zip deployment, it is succeeded. It is net executing the same command with the PowerShell or Azure CLI. It does the same zip deploy. We are seeing that 31465, we are seeing it. And what was the other website which we created through the ARM template? Well, this is one, right? So let's go here for a minute, and we can do another quick deployment into this one. Okay, we have this plan college API. I can come to this plan. Okay, that's also the Linux one. That's also the Linux one. So both are Linux. So we can quickly come back over here, and I'll do another publish, and I can create a new select, because that is for another web app and this is for another web app. and that we are calling it as college API, and I click on next. I'm really not sure why did it fail in the first attempt for the um, Azure CLI one, but let's do that. Let's see the sunny side of the world. So it's deploying and it's doing this one, and the build should succeed, and it should proceed with the deployment because it's a very less number of files. It shouldn't take, we didn't even use a lot of frameworks and libraries so that it has to publish all those DLLs to cloud. It's a pretty simple thing. See, it succeeded, and zip deployment succeeded, then waiting for web app to be ready, restarting the web app. And you can see that this also says that it is succeeded. This is other one. This is 3145 that we created using the using this CLI shell script, and this is using the ARM template. So because it is for the first time it boots up, then I come back and weather forecast. Weather forecast, it should show that. Okay. So I think it is 10:20. I just want to do a time check. I have planned for 4 more activities. So step 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I just want to do a time check. How many people are here and how many people are ready for another 30 minutes? Uh, just give thumbs up. Okay, I see Dinesh ready. Any other folks I can carry on? Okay, Valarmati, Hussein. Okay, I'm assuming yes, I will go ahead with that. And anyone or no, uh, see you in the next session. I will carry on with this. Okay, so now that we have seen quite a few things of Hello World, now let's go to the real world. That is this step. Okay, we'll do a real, a simple project. It's not a very big, but little bit of things are involved in that. I will go ahead and delete all these things. We'll recreate it. Ooh, God. Okay, so let's see this. That was the previous session. This is the current sessions one. Let's see this. The first thing what I have is the college DB. That's a SQL project. This is a SQL project. It has got the tables, 2 tables. We'll come back to the stored procedure in the future episode. It's pretty simple. The professor's table is there, and we have the student table, and you can see that it creates a new GUID, and the default values ESPHD is this one, and the rating is 2.5. Why are we using rating is this will have a similar application where we will create a employees thing. They'll have an employee image, and you can do the refresh, and you have the star rating. So you can see that the rating of each employee, and you can go and search on the employees also. So this is the one which we will deploy it maybe 2 sessions down the lane, but I'm just working on it offline. So I'll get this up and running with full functionalities. Then we'll deploy it in 1 or 2 months. So that's the reason I've just planted this rating here. This is a very simple one. Now we have the database which is there in Azure. So let's go to this database. This is the SQL Server. I'm sorry, I directly came to this one. I need to go to this SQL Server. So when we come to the SQL Server, as I was mentioning, we will go and discuss in length about the security of the SQL Server, which is part of the exam. So at this point of time, just a high level 30 feet we'll discuss is that I will try to see that in this SQL Server, I have the database, and they have provisioned editor, which is similar to the management studio which we have on our local. When we type, it says that 49 37 150 208. It's not allowed. So how do I know that? what is my IP address. Go to this one and click on this, what is my IP address. This guy will check the IP address and it will tell us what is this IP address, 49.37.150.208. So that's what Microsoft, the SQL server is also shouting, saying that I can't allow this IP. Okay. So what should we do for that is we need to go back to the SQL server, and inside the SQL server you need to go and punch the hole in the firewall. So right now we doesn't allow anyone. So click on add client IP. That will add here. Okay, and click on this one. We'll come back to this one. We will deploy our database. We'll deploy our API, but API will not work because this is the one which we need to enable. I'll come back to that one. As I was mentioning, we will face a lot of problems, then only we'll learn things. Right now we have succeeded in punching the hole in the firewall. We'll go to the query editor and do sample $123. And that's where we'll come, and we are seeing that there are no tables. Ooh, Jesus, that's cool. So what we will do is I will come back over here. I will copy this and put it over here. Okay, so that's the SQL server. SQL server. So what we have to do is we need to come back to the Visual Studio, select this project, right mouse click, and set this as a startup project. Okay, and then right mouse click on that, properties. So inside this properties, the first thing is in the project settings, it says that it is going to deploy to a SQL Server 2016 on-premise, but we want it Microsoft Azure SQL database. So that's the first change you need to do. Then come to the debug and click on edit, and click on show connection properties and paste this and tell that this is SQL authentication and username is demo user, and the password is sample $123, and I want to test the connection. Okay, connection succeeded. So what is the database which we want to deploy? It's loading the database, the SQL database which is already there. We see that it located and click on OK. So that changes this connection string. Okay, that's it. After that, just click on start. And the moment you start, you see that it is creating a DAC pack, and it has created the DLL. And what it does is it creates the SQL script also. So that SQL script will be the unification of all the changes which we have it at the current deployment. Maybe you are adding a column, deleting a column, modifying the database, or adding content, doing indexes or stored procedures, whatever is possible as part of the SQL. Okay, this takes bit time for sure, guys. So let's leave this at this location, and we'll start discussing the step 2. So we are here, we saw that, and we'll discuss about this layered stuff. This is the step which we are doing. And yeah, I know that it definitely takes a minute or two more. So in the meanwhile, we can come and discuss about one of the other point is there are different school of thoughts, folks. One is the number of layers that depends upon how you want to architect or design your APIs. So I use the same old which I used to use. I'm using the same. Maybe in future episodes I might do with the domain reason pattern or the clean architecture. But at this point of time, I'm using these 3 simple layers: the data access layer, business logic layer, and controllers. So we'll use the gRPC also in future episodes, but at this point of time, we'll stick to this. Core is the one where we have this core which is used in all 3 layers. And data access layer is the only guy who goes and talks to the SQL server, and we can't jump the lane. API controller should definitely speak to business logic layer. It can't jump this guy and go and speak to the data access layer. No, it's not the suggested method. You should speak to the immediate layer. So this complete thing is coming under the middle tier or a backend service. That's a interchangeably people are using it. I don't know what to use. I'm calling it as a middle tier. Okay. This front end also will work slowly because we have many episodes. We'll work with Blazor, Wasm, Angular, React. Vue.js, I'm not sure, but rest of the three, I'm pretty sure that we will definitely work on that. Okay, let it deploy whatever it needs. Let it take. So we'll see the core where we have the common, and this is I learned it from Steve Smith, that author. In his blog, he mentioned that we can wrap all these constants kind of things into a single piece and then do a subclassing. That means if I want to use the SQL connection string or instance name, if I wrap it under cache, Redis cache store instance name, if I want to access it, I will say constant dot Redis cache store dot instance. So that is more readable. Okay, I know that. Okay, instance name is, this is for Redis cache functionality. Similarly, for SQL Server also, I can have an instance name, but that is getting subclassed under SQL data store or some other class. So it gives pretty much a readability when we use this kind of constants. And there are two entities which we are using. The deployment is succeeded. The details, or we can see in the output. Yeah, see this output. That's what I want to show. It creates a SQL Server, guys. Here in this D Lord Krishna. We'll go here. Oh, it removed it. I could have. I was about to show you this SQL script while deploying. It takes time, so it went and it created um, these tables. We'll come back to that tables, and here are those entities. At this point of time, these are anemic models, which doesn't have any functionality. These are plain models. The suggested way is we need to use the data transfer object, but this is our first step towards the uh, creation of this API. Let's use this one. In future, we'll come back and create it using the data transfer objects and use auto mappers and other stuff. Okay. So there are a couple of interfaces, one for the SQL DAL and one for the Professor BLL. And you can see this data access layer. It has got 1 DB context. It's a pretty much a plain vanilla DB context, which has got the 2 DB sets. One is professors and one is students. These professors and students, they are one-on-one mapping with the tables which we have in the SQL Server. These are at this point of time, we are using this anemic models or entities. But in future, we'll see that how best we can grab from the entities and drop it to the data transfer object and flush it out. So we'll see that in future episode. So the data access layer is the one which talks to the DB context. And it's a pretty simple one. We are going to the DB context professors, include the child and to list testing. This is all a simple one. And the business logic layer has got a dependency on the data access layer. So next 10 minutes, we will see how the dependencies are getting loaded and all those things, but we'll focus on that. So I'll minimize this and let's come back to this one. So the first thing is, if I come in here, I do not have the connection strings. I will give you the tips on that one also. So I don't have the connection strings. Why I am not storing things in the connection strings is the connection strings are part of the source code repository. That means on Friday, there is a bug. I want to test it. It is appearing in stage, not in test and dev. So I will use the connection string of the stage, and Nikhil calls me and saying that Swami, I booked a ticket for movie and my bug is fixed. Immediately I'll check in the code. Now the connection string is no more secret. Entire world will come. By Monday morning, I come to work, everyone knows the database credentials. So I don't suggest it. So other way we have is manage user secrets. You click on the manage user secrets. You see this, my connection string, the SQL Server connection string is here. Okay, the SQL Server connection string is here, and I'm pretty much safe now, because if I right mouse click and go to the open containing folder, it is going to Vishwanath Swami app roaming. It is outside that. It's in C users. It is in C users. But if I right mouse click on this app settings and go open the containing folder, this is part of my Git repository. So if I put it here, I forgot to reset the credentials. That means it's no more credentials. Now entire world knows it. So I'm a little bit leaning towards this is one of the security things which we can add it. Sample $123. Okay, this one I am adding it in the secrets.json, which is outside my source code location, folks. So I'm little safe even if I store it until unless I give it to someone else, no one will know about this one. Okay, that's one tip. And another thing is we need to learn about this program.cs. The first thing is it creates the create host builder. So you can see this host builder.create default builder. So someone can ask, hey Swami, I know that app settings means application will read its configuration, but secrets.json, how would this guy knows that what is the secrets.json? Okay, double click on this. You can see this secrets ID. It writes this GUID and you right mouse click on that and go to the containing folder. In the containing folder, you can see the secrets, the same GUID 4ACE88. Come back to this guy 4ACE88A6. So that it has got a reference. And another thing is when it creates the create host builder, what is it doing? It sets the environment, the folder, and .NET, it loads .NET variables, it loads app settings, and it loads the app setting environment specific app settings like app settings dot development, app settings dot test, app settings dot stage, whatever the environments you have. And also it loads the user secrets. See this here? It loads the user secrets. So that's how it knows that it has to load this secrets. So even though I don't give anything over here, it knows that it needs to go and pick it up from there. So here, this is what it does. And it creates, it sets up this iWeb root folder and it does. So you can go deep into that, but due to the time crunch, but I want to give this tips. Now, what is the dependency injection container? How does the dependencies are getting resolved? That's a pretty important point. So next 10 minutes is very, very crucial. We'll spend on this one. Like imagine you have an bank account and you have an ATM card. You did not deposit anything in your bank account and you go and swipe the card in an ATM. You get a declined transaction. So until you deposit, you can't swipe it. So this is the same concept. Just for understanding, I'm using this. So this is service collection. This is a container. So I'll put a debugger over here and I'll start. When I start this debugger, we'll see what is this. Rashmita, do let me know if you're not able to hear me. Sometimes what happens is when I'm showing this demo, it cuts off my mic. So you can see this dependency. This is a container. How many dependencies are there? There are 79 dependencies. If you get into this result view, you see that see this iHost, iApplication, iConfiguration, and iLogger. So these are some of the dependencies which are coming out of the box. So I'm calling it out of the box for lack of terminology. I don't know what to call, but these are coming out of the box. We didn't do anything. So the framework is giving that, hey, these are the dependencies you take with you. So there was 79. When I execute this, now you go and check that how many dependencies are there. So it is 170. So everything which we added, it's like a pizza with toppings. You say that I want a pineapple topping 50 rupees more. I want extra cheese 25 rupees more. Like this, you are adding the dependencies, a lot of dependencies. These are the application dependencies. We are adding the DB context, the professor BLL and the service. Now we can quickly go back to the quick watch. We can go back to the quick watch where you see this 186 dependencies. I will go to the bottom of this. We saw that you have the DB context, which we added, and I college DB context, I professor BLL, I professor SQL DAL. That means now we have deposited money in the bank account. Now we can go and ask. So this is one piece of the equation. And the second piece of the equation is now we understood that there is a guy, someone holding the money in the account, like service container, which holds all the dependencies. If you want, we have to explicitly load. If you are okay with the default dependencies, that should be fine. But application dependencies, we have to go and load it. Now you see this here, the the controller depends on the business logic layer. So let's see that. Now we'll see the track, how the dependencies are getting injected. So I put a debugger over here. Now controller has got a dependency on iLogger and iProfessor BLL. We saw that iLogger is coming by default out of the box, and the business logic layer we are explicitly loaded. So now we need to go into the business logic layer. Now to construct the business logic layer, it has got dependency on the DAL layer. I'm not going to discuss about iLogger. We know that it is coming out of the box. So now we need to go to the DAL. Now to construct the DAL, it has got dependency on the DB context. And now we go to the DB context. DB context has got a parameterized constructor, but it doesn't have any dependencies. So if you see the chain, so the controller has got dependency on the BLL, BLL has got a dependency on the DAL, DAL has got a dependency on the DB context, EF core DB context. Now EF core DB context doesn't have a dependency. So the last man standing without any dependency will get constructed first, and he will get injected in the DAL. And DAL get constructed, he will get injected in the BAL. BAL gets constructed, will get injected in the controller. Then our application will work. So let's quickly see that. So if I execute this command, so remember folks, this chain, the last man standing who doesn't have any dependencies will be constructed first. So we execute, it comes with the Swagger, and I click on this one, and I click on try execute it and execute. So you see this, the last man standing, the SQL DB context who doesn't have any dependencies, he gets constructed, and then it gets injected into the, you see this here, the DB context, it got constructed. Right now, if you see this one, this is null, but that dependency is getting injected. So I will press F5. Now you see that when I do F10, now you see that the DB context got constructed, then DAL layer. Now DAL layer got injected in the business logic layer. You can see that business logic layer's DAL layer has got constructed, and it has got a child, I'm calling it as a child or a dependency. It is SQL DB context, which is fully constructed. Now from here, it goes to the controller. Now in this controller, you can see that the controller, you can see the business logic layer. The business logic layer has got a logger and DAL, which got injected, and the DAL has got DB context and logger, and the DB context is fully constructed. So now we understood what is the dependency injection container and how does the dependencies are getting injected or approved. At this point of time, I don't have any records, so it is showing none. Right, so we can quickly go back and inject the data and deploy this, and we'll face some other problems there. Last 5 minutes, I think we will be done. I have given the scripts here in this publish. Of reactor, source, database, SQL scripts. Yeah, I have this. Let me add that real quick. I will insert professors. I have Shiva, Matthew, and Mohammed Aziz, 3 people. So I can come in here. We saw that there wasn't any tables in this. Now you see this tables. I can come in here. I'm executing this professor's query. That's insertion. Actually, I will include that in the future version as part of the DAC pack deployment. So we don't need to do any of these manual steps. So one quick round we'll do that because we know that service injection container, the service collection container, what is the provenance of that and how the dependencies are getting injected. We have seen that. Right now we have Shiva Sai, Matthew Phillips, and Mohammed Aziz. We have these 3 professors, It's making a call, and you can see that we are getting the content: Shiva Saif, Matthew Phillips, and Muhammad Aziz. We have all these three. We are in a pretty good shape now. Without further ado, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and let's go to the final step now. What all the things which we have done? We did this, we did this. We need to do the deployment. We have seen the dependency injection container and dependencies and retrieve this also we have seen. We need to publish this. So to publish, we need another API that also will quickly. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll create another one. So let it create. And what will the problem we face it? We'll discuss about that. So here we went into the SQL. Let's go to the SQL. And inside the SQL, we saw that we have to punch the hole in the firewall. That's where we did it. We went to this into this firewall. We'll keep it ready. So we have added this. Until unless we added, none of the anyone from this world, they can't access this database because this is the only guy who can access it. And what is this telling? Allow Azure services and resources to access this server. That we switched it off. So at this point of time, even though we deploy this API and we give the proper credentials, it will not be able to access it. So we have to switch it on. Let's face that problem before we switch it on. We'll face that problem. I think that as deployed, it will not take much time. Last 5 minutes, we will do the quick deployment of that and then right mouse click and publish. Okay, so I think I will, and instead of reconfiguring, I will better create a new profile. I feel that's comfortable because we don't know something configuration is mismatching. It will not deploy. Okay. Okay. It's appearing. Cancel that. Sometimes it takes time. I click on this Linux deploy. Come on, man. Yes, it got deployed. Yeah. Yes, it is there. Sometimes it takes time. I shouldn't have deleted the previous one. Okay, we'll create with the PowerShell. If this is not appearing, we'll create one with the PowerShell. Oh, we can check in the Cloud Explorer. Why are we struggling? Right mouse click and refresh. It's not appearing. That's the reason. Let's see here in our right. That's the reason. Okay. Anyways, no problem. Let's recreate it here now. Create. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. I don't understand why, but it should create in a minute. It doesn't take much time. So it's 5%. In the meanwhile, let's refresh and see. That's the reason it wasn't appearing. For some reason, it's not able to. No problem. If not, we'll create it from the Visual Studio itself. If it doesn't show up, then we'll create it. Okay, we'll come back and discuss about this outbound IPs little later, but at this point of time, we'll stick to the game plan, the final step. This is one which we created just now. And what all the apps do we have in this? Okay, 26316. Okay, 26316. Is that appearing? Oh, okay. Never mind. We'll create a new one. If it is not listening to us, then we will make it listen. Okay. Let's create a new one. Okay. So that's the resource group. And the hosting plan, for some reason, it's not appearing. Let's give the same thing as an hosting plan. Let's create a new hosting plan. And yeah, whatever it is. Oh, this guy is intelligent. It's not giving any lower version. I'm using the same name as that, and I'm clicking on create. For some reason, those things, whatever we created, it's not appearing. I don't know why, but let's create a new one. This is a new thing which wasn't there in our topics today, but we are doing it. We can create, as we did it from the Visual Studio Code, we are doing it from the Visual Studio 29, from here also. So this also we can come and keep a watch and do a monitoring on that. Yeah, it's creating 202109. 202909. Let it come. In the meanwhile, I'm a little curious why it's not showing that. See this, it took some time. Come on. I'm really not sure. It took some time. That's the reason we had to fall back on creating it from here. But anyways, that's a new thing which we are learning. It's taking a little bit longer. I think it is done. Okay, it appears here, and that's where we are deploying it. I think if I do a refresh, okay, Visual Studio is not at, it's not appearing here. That should be perfectly fine. Let's go and click on this. Let's click on finish and let's publish. So here what will happen is you can see that what it publishes it. The number of DLLs which are there are little bit more because we need to compile those common DLLs, and that common DLLs has got a dependency on the EF core and some other dependencies. You can see this swag buckle and this EF core and some of the data annotations thing whichever is there, like logging abstractions. There are other libraries which it has to push, but net you can see that it is pretty fast. It's not a big deal, but it will not take more than a couple of minutes. It does that job pretty good. It will be done pretty quick. Okay, the build is done. Now publish is also succeeded. Okay, it is waiting for web app to be ready, restarting the web app, because we need to look into the logs, folks. That's where very important details will come out. Okay, so it is 202109. So let's go into that app. Yeah, this one. So here we need to come into the configuration. So if you come to this configuration, there are a couple of important points. That differentiation we will understand when we are working with Azure functions and this one. So that's where we can show the difference. But anyways, I want to show that a little bit of that here. Let's go to the Kudu console. I'm doing a context switching, guys. Because just to save the time, I will go to the Kudu console and keep myself ready there. And when we come back over here, here is when you can come and check this. What is the framework which it is supporting? Okay, see that it says that .NET College API. So it knows that it has to execute the DLL. And HTTP version is 1.1. We'll not discuss anything more here, but we'll come to this app settings. So here you can see this, the application settings, whatever you add it here. When we bring in the Cosmos DB, that's when we use this and this. So at this point of time, the connection string has to be there. So we need to come back to the secrets JSON. Right mouse click on that and click on manage user secrets. So here it is connection strings. And what is the name of the connection string? It is this one. So new connection string. What is the name? The name is this one. And it should be this value. And that is SQL Azure. Now click on OK and click on save. When you click on save, it reboots this application. Let it reboot. That's a good thing. And we let it appear here. Or it is college DB connection string. So when you go here, and click on this environment, okay, and search for this college DB. Okay, it doesn't show up. I think it will show up pretty quickly. It's this one, college DB connection string. That's the one which we are looking at now. So you can slowly come in here and scroll down to this. Okay, whatever I want to show is not appearing, which will definitely come here. Let it take some time. So this connection strings doesn't show up right now. But anyways, that's not a big deal. So we have added that connection string and we are coming back here and we saw the API. It is API slash v1 slash professors. So just we need that endpoint name. We are here slash API slash v1 slash professors. So when you go, it doesn't come. So you can come and check the log streams. It will show that it's not able to see this, the SQLDB, an error connection to the database. So it says that with this IP, it is not allowed. We can specifically open up for this one, but I'm opening it to the wild because this is just a sample project. So you guys please take care. Whatever you're opening, it could turn out to be bad, but ensure that you're opening only within the network, whatever is allowed, the IPs. Please do not open it to the wild. So now I'm making it to the wild. I can put it here and we can try that, but I just wanted to show this piece also. So when you have multiple services accessing this database, please ensure that you are allowing it. And if you want to restrict, you can restrict with these things. So now that we have opened up to that, we'll come back and you see this data is there and you can check the logs also. It is properly returning the data. And the key thing which I want to show was this. Let me go back to this one and go to the environment and see this. This is what I want to show. SQL Azure Con str. So even though we didn't create this, I'm sorry, we created only the college DB connection strings. So even though we create the college DB connection strings, there will be prefix. So in the Microsoft documentation, it is clearly mentioned that, so these are the prefixes which it will have for each of those variables. So that will come into picture. Like, see this, the connection string, what it has got here, it has got SQL Azure constr underscore college DB connection string. But how are we accessing it from the startup? From the startup, how are we accessing it? We are accessing it using this configuration dot SQL connection string. So SQL connection string is, we are saying that SQL connection string colon college DB connection string. That is, it's a multi-level thing. That means whenever, this is very careful thing, folks, you guys have to concentrate on this one. Uh, Not only for the exam, but it is for your real-time projects also. You can see this, that's a multi-level. You have a parent and child kind of thing. But internally, as we have mentioned it, like it's a SQL Azure, so that it has got this one, SQL Azure constr. So if you use the same thing in your Azure functions and you deploy, it doesn't work because the way you access is using this connection strings. So there you have to be creating using the SQL Azure constr underscore this, or else we have the other option is to create an app settings that we will definitely discuss when we are doing the Azure stuff. Okay. So that's it, folks. I think I was a little bit over the time, but I thought that we are in good rhythm. I don't want to stop. So we went it. So this is the second episode. So more 18 more sessions. It could be 19 also. I don't know. I'm not sure at this point of time, but a minimum 18 will follow after this. Hope you guys have enjoyed this.
Any questions we have at this moment? You can ask Swami. We'll be closing the session in 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask Swami. You can unmute yourself and you can ask, or you can drop in the chat box.
Anything is
Yeah,
fine.
hi. My name is Aryu. Yeah, I have a question on this secrets. How we are managing the secrets so that it will not go into repository. Can you show how that secret file is getting generated? So the
Oh,
moment we right click on that, it will automatically generate. Correct?
yes, yes. What's your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Aryu.
Arivu. Arivu, see
Yeah, Aryu.
this. Uh,
Yeah.
you click on the rightmost click on that, you click on manage user secret server. The moment you do that, it will open it. I'll show you one more method. Hold on. So if I delete it for the time being.
Are you sharing your screen? I guess.
Swami,
I mean,
you're
I'm sorry. This is my problem. When I speak technical, I don't know what I'm doing. See this. I removed that. There was one entry over here. I'm removing that, right? If this will be your solution, isn't it? Initially, the moment you do rightmost click and click on manage user secrets, that creates a new file in your file system and also adds that entry.
Okay. So
Okay.
in that file, we can add all the secrets. You mean to say, which did not go to
Okay.
repository.
Exactly. That should match what is here. You're using it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That should match. That's a pretty good question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Arvu, anything else from you? Okay. Oh, all my sessions will be like this, purely hands-on. If you understand Hindi, it is like pani kam doodh zada. That's what they will tell. That means less of a milk. Sorry, less of a water, more of a milk. So it's that kind of sessions. It will be purely hands-on because you'll get tons and tons of documentation everywhere in the world. So I purely focus on hands-on. What is it? How can I get the solution file if we deploy the project previously in Azure app, where as I don't have the project solution file? Oh, you see this. Uh, what's your first name? Is this Jyotish?
Yeah, it's my name. It's Jyotish Samanta. Yeah.
Hey, Jyotish, see this, Jyotish. Here, what will happen is when you deploy, we go to the Kudu console. When we go to the Kudu console, we can go to the SSH or bash. Technically, it is one and the same. If I come to the bash scripts, I do an ls and I go to the site. It has root, and if I do ls, it has got why we deployed it, isn't it? For some reason, it is taking longer than see this. This is root. Ah. But it will show only the binaries will get published. Oh, sorry, Jyotish. It just published the binaries. So you're not publishing the entire solution. As you can see in this output, what it publishes is it publishes only the binaries here. See this? Only the DLLs it publishes it.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got the point. But the thing is that, let's say we are working in a project, whereas I do not have the solution files in my hand. But I have, I can see that all the solution already been published in the Azure App Services. I can see the DLL file and the compiled version of the code. But is there any way to decompile it? I
You
believe.
have that. You have this. This one. These tools are there. You can do a decompiling. Okay. These tools are there. You can get the binary and do a reverse engineering, but it's a little bit painful.
Okay.
You can do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
painful, but worst
it
case
is
scenario,
painful.
I'm telling you.
I
I
know,
have
I know.
multiple scenarios in my project.
True.
So that's why I'm just asking.
I
Let's
understand,
say
but
we are working in a project, some another company is already developed and we are supporting it, but we do not have source code. In that case, what will I do?
I know everyone face this problem. It's a real world problem.
It's a
But
real world problem. Yeah.
yeah, for anti-obfuscating, they have some other tools which will
Mhm.
stop doing this also. We don't know whether the other guys they have used it or not, but that's also there. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
guess
thank you so much for sharing this
Decommission.
thing, and your session is really helpful for us for
No
entire.
problem. So
Yeah,
it will be
thank
like
you so
this
much.
only, Jyotish. Always purely hands-on. We have 18 more sessions, and we'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
long way to go. We'll learn a lot of things.
yeah.
So, any other queries? Anyone? Kumar, Santosh, or Santosh Kumar? Because I'm seeing the names. Yeah, Pawan or Satish Kumar.
not
Anyone?
from my side. Yeah, it is very good. Actually, I asked for a calendar for this particular series. I will register for the whole thing. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
full
it
demo
is.
session. I like a lot. Yeah,
Thanks, Harve. It's like.
yeah.
Did you watch the first episode? Just watch the
No,
first
not that.
episode.
Yeah, I
Uh,
will watch that.
watch the first episode, and this is the second, and 19 more to come, because I'm just going through the entire syllabus what is there, and also get into the MS Learn modules and bring some content from there, so that you are well prepared for the entire exam, even though it takes time, but we will do it. It's bi-weekly. I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Krishna Kumar ND? It's every 2 weeks, Krishna. So because I'm taking 2 weeks gap to bring in that much demos. You saw that 2 hours of demos means at least I need to work 10 days to bring that demo and everything. The concepts I need to generate, how to present it, and the order to present. It minimum it takes 10 days time for me to create for one session. Anything else, Krishna? Cool. Valarmati, do you have anything? or Pavan, Satish Kumar, anyone? Oh, okay. So I think
Can I get your LinkedIn profile link? It's better.
you can get it. It's Vishwanath Swami. It's the same blue color icon. You see it all the places.
Uh-huh.
Uh, See this. You'll see the same. This is a blue color icon, Vishwanath Swami. Whether you go there or whether you go to Twitter, uh, everywhere you see the same blue color icon. Here or on my Facebook or on my GitHub, you'll see the same blue color icon. So that's an identification. It is me.
Yeah, unique identification.
I don't look good, so I don't post my pictures
Don't
somewhere.
worry. Yeah.
Balded guy, so I don't want to post a picture. I'm using instead a blue color
Yeah.
circle. Cool.
No issues. Thank you.
Santosh Kumar, anything? Satish, Pavan, or anyone has got anything? We can quickly have discuss these things. Or Chakkalingam, is there Babu Dorai Raj? I don't know because the names are either the first name or second name. I know Mani Venkatachalam. I think Mani should be the first name. Arive we spoke. Rajat is there. Rupesh Kumar, Roy, Palarmati. No problem. Chalo then. Cool guys. So I think we'll sign off. Please do practice and do step by step. I mean, whatever we are going bi-weekly, even if you practice, it is pretty good. I mean, now from this session, what I'm doing is I'm bringing in some modules from the AZ MS Learn also. So apart from this, I'm bringing in the AZ modules also so that you will be aligned with AZ modules and my experiments because to clear this exam, I learned it from multiple videos, multiple sites, books, and a lot of investment I did it. I thought that I'm just doing sharing what I learned from uh, industry experts. There are pretty good authors, so from them I learned. So I'm sharing whatever I learned from them. Okay, chalo guys, have a safe stay wherever you are, and see you guys in 2 weeks from now.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.
Yeah, Krishna, it's there in